Good morning, guys. It's Dave from Breaking Chart Alerts. Hope everyone had a great night or a great morning. Well, Tesla is starting off the morning with a big bang. Shares are up about 5%. It just got upgraded by Baird as well from neutral to outperform. They raised their price target from 450 to 488 a share. iRobot was upgraded from market perform to outperform. Hyatt Hotels, we'll be looking at the hotels today. Peloton was downgraded. The big news today, guys, unemployment numbers. What a big drop in unemployment numbers by nearly 100,000. So jobless claims for October 16th, 787,000 versus 860,000 that they were estimating. Prior to that, the prior week, it was 898,000. So big reduction of over 110,000 jobless claims from last week, which is great. Continued claims now. 8.373 million versus 9.5 million estimated, an extra 1.2 million less than what they were expecting. So great job with the unemployment numbers this morning. Tesla shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 EPS and sales results. Big beat on Coca-Cola, AT&T, American Airlines, and Southwest Airlines and Citrix Systems. So we're going to be looking at the markets today. Chipotle Mexican Grill price target from $1,400 to $1,550. Shares fell 4.5% after they reported earnings yesterday after the bell there. So let's have a great day, guys. Stimulus talks are still on. You guys could see the market's just about green here. Let me see. Looks like we're going to have a great day. We'll look for some day trade setups today and get the ball rolling here in about 15 minutes. We'll give the markets about 15 minutes to digest the news from overnight, and we'll see what we could do here. NASDAQ's up about 17 points. Dow's down about 6 points. S&P's down 1 point. So really pretty flat here. NASDAQ's getting a climb. Oil's up slightly. Let's see what else we got going on. Let's see. Tyler says CAR, C-A-R. Nice continued breakout on CAR. Looking good. I'd be looking for that 45 as a resistance area for CAR if I was trading that. Let me get the fan on here in the office. What are you guys looking at this morning? Anything good coming up on your watch list? We got quite a few over here on the market movers list. Smile Direct Club is up pretty significantly. Got 13 as resistance. After 13, it'd be looking at about 15. Let's see what else we got going on. I'm going to set up Q's and Diamond right here along with SPY.
Secretary says the most vulnerable Americans could receive the vaccine by the end of this year.
Alrighty, guys, here we go. Market is open. Let's see, what is Tesla doing over here? Tesla is going to be one we can make another quick day trade like we did yesterday morning on. Give it a few minutes here.
Glass House Research issued a short report on Columbia Sportswear. Charlie Oscar Lima Michael, Columbia Sportswear headed for a rocky fall.
Remember how we were talking about yesterday that 450 as the target area for Tesla this week with that implied move? She's nearing 444 now, about 6 points away from that target of 450 that analysts were expecting, Wall Street was expecting.
Shares of Columbia Sportswear now at $92 off the lows.
Facebook's having a nice breakout there. Market's climbing. I'm looking at SPY here. Take a look at SPY as well. SPY. SPY's taking off this morning nicely. Facebook's on the climb. Up $1,000 for the day here. GameStop is up nicely. Let's see what else is up here. Our Tesla vertical spread for November 20th is up really nicely here. SPY's still climbing. We did that day trade at the end of the day yesterday on those SPY puts. We locked in a nice gain on those. Let's see if we can continue this climb.
Senate Judiciary Committee authorizes subpoenas for Twitter and Facebook CEOs. That from Dow Jones.
Subpoenas for Twitter and Facebook CEO. Guys, Dow's up about 61 points. NASDAQ's up 54. S&P is now up 9 points. So continuing to climb. Facebook still holding that 280 pretty well. That's going to be our new support on Facebook.
Says extending middle seat block until January 6th of 2021. That's Alpha Lima Kilo. Shares of Columbia Sportswear hitting new lows now, $90.13 on that short report from Glass.
So see, what I like to do with all my screens here, if you guys see the market movers list and the watch list here, what I like to do is use my upper screens here, and I'll take a look at some of these that I see are moving, and see if there's any good setups on any of those. Urban One. Take a look at Urban One, guys. This is one that I was looking at that looks pretty good.
S&P 500 up 0.3%. NASDAQ composite.
Look at the 3-month daily. We're just getting that SMA cluster. We're just getting that cross. We have our first candle above the 10, 20, 50 SMA since going all the way back to June of 2020. That's a big difference there. Urban One. We're just coming off the lows on Urban One. We have base support right around $3 and right around $3. We have base support on Urban One, and we got our first candle above 10, 20, 50 SMA. That hasn't happened since going back to June 25th. That's a big deal, team. You guys know our trade plan. You know exactly what we're looking for with our trade plan. So that's a nice setup there for something that's a couple months out. Remember when I told you guys, when you have a new cycle formation here, best thing to do is something 3 months out till Expo. 3 to 6 months out. That's a nice setup right there. That's one that's pretty cheap. You could just buy some shares of that one. Hold it out for a couple of months. I like that setup, though. I might buy some shares of that. I might just pick up 2,000 shares. See how that does today. It's pulling back from the highs. SPY's pulling back a little bit here as well. Facebook shares still climbing. Let's see here. AT&T getting a nice boost off those lows. Right up to that 20 SMA. We could be looking at $30 resistance going out for a few months here. That's a nice setup on AT&T. They got quite a few good deals going on as well with their 5G new iPhones. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Well, they're going to be voting on the Supreme Court here. Amy Barrett. And it says here the Democrats are fully boycotting it in the Senate. Boycotting the vote. They're not going to be there. SPY's climbing off that 10 now. We're getting a squeeze now between that 10 and 50 SMA here, so that's what we're waiting for, looking for. A break above that 50 on SPY. Good morning, Paul, Dwayne, Jeremy, Zach Honka on YouTube. Good morning, guys.
Decades of vicious unilateral escalation. Was from this over here.
She was the dean of Notre Dame Law, legal community, and really politically.
Or dirty. After the astrologer.
I don't think they voted on her just yet, did they? I think they're coming up for the vote. Did they vote on her yet? I don't think they did. GameStop is breaking out. Nice catch there, Avilio. GameStop up 8.5%. We could probably close our vertical spread out on that pretty soon here for a nice gain. SPY's breaking below that 20 right now, though, so be cautious, guys. Good morning, Matthew. Good morning, guys. Dwayne Watkins, did you get in GameStop? Good morning, Matthew.
mRNA Moderna says 30,000 participants enrolled in Cove Phase 3 study as of October 22nd. Michael Romeo November Alpha, Moderna.
Yeah, it's going to the full Senate now, so that's what I'm waiting for. Do you know what time that's going to be, that vote?
Moderna says in the
I thought they're taking a recess this week, John.
25,654 participants have received their second vaccination.
Let's see here. GameStop Snap is running. They're saying, let's take a look at Snap. Snap is on the rise nicely. Let's take a look at the 3-month daily. Beautiful climb on Snapchat.
52 gained about 2.25% now on Michael Romeo November Alpha.
Nice job, Dwayne.
S&P futures are dropping now.
SPY futures dropping a little bit here. Snapchat shares are up almost 4% already today.
Michael Yankee Tango getting a pop here. Urban T on some volume. MYT.
Might pick up a Snapchat trade today.
Coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, existing home sales for September.
There goes Snapchat taking off again. Big climb.
5%.
Let's take a look what the recent upgrades were on Snap.
September plus 0.7% expected, and EU consumer confidence for October minus.
They raised the price target on Snapchat to $45.50. Another $139, another $150. We got quite a bit of upgrades on these. Let me log into the Trade Challenge account here. Alrighty, let's see. What do we want to do today? I definitely want to do some day trading in the morning session and the afternoon session. SPY still pulling back, still below that 343.30, which is right where the 20 SMA is at. I think I want to do something with Snapchat for next week. Look at Snapchat taking off. I gotta do something with that for next week. Let's see, let's do a call on Snapchat for next week's Expo, October 30th. Let's see here, we'll pick up the 38.50. It's going for about $1.04. I'll pick up Okay, so here is the trade challenge trade I just made. I'm going to post that in our trade room. And there we go, guys. We picked up the October 30th 39.50 strike call on Snapchat. SPY's climbing. Nice breakout on SPY. There goes Snapchat again. Now, Ephraim, our target on that is going to be an easy, let's say $40 to $42. I'm looking at the move that it's been having the past few days here. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is about a $40 to $42 target. Our stop is going to be
mRNA, Moderna says as of October 21 in phase 3 COVID study, 58% participants are between 18 years and below, 65 years and not at risk.
And there we go. There's our targets. There's our stops. Now, guys, remember what I told you guys. What's nice and easy. Now that you made that trade, all you need to do is come down here and add that to your alert system. Put in snap. Okay. Put in your target, 40. Put in your stop. And as soon as it hits those targets, you got your signals right there. And there we go. That is set. That Urban 1 is still climbing there, John. Did you see that Urban 1? That's one you can make a quick 10% gain just owning the shares. Take a look at the today 1 minute chart on Urban 1. Nice breakout there. No options, but a nice little setup there with our trade plan.
Nancy Pelosi says we'll be speaking with reporters at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time.
Nancy Pelosi speaking with reporters at 10:45 Eastern Time. So you guys already know what's going to happen at 10:45. 10:30ish, you guys know what's going to happen. We're probably going to see the market pulling back ahead of Nancy coming on. Tyler, that seems like what we have to do. Puts for Pelosi, yeah. Sounds about right. United Healthcare is on the climb, up 1% here. Nice breakout on UNH. GameStop. Did you guys see GameStop? Look at that, still breaking out here. Big breakout, new highs of the day on GameStop. Snapchat holding that 10. Maybe we can make another trade on GameStop. Let me see about our trade that we have. So the trade that we have on GameStop, we have the 12 and 13 vertical call spread. We paid 2.11 minus 1.75. Paid 36 cents for that to be worth $1. That's going to be 178% return on our GameStop trade. Let's see what it's going for now. Still very early, so I'm not expecting to get anywhere near max gains on it. We are deep in the money on that. It's going for about 63 cents right now. What did I just say we paid for it? 36. So we got about a 75% gain on that trade now. We could put an order for 65 if we wanted to and use those funds to fuel another trade on GameStop. $10.45 Avilio. $10.45. Our buddy Pelosi is coming on. Okay, so let's see. GameStop, buy to close. I'm going to put an order for 65 cents, see if that fills. We could utilize those funds for something else there. I'd like to make a day trade on GameStop. Pinterest. Pinterest shares are still on the climb. Can't believe that's a $50 stock now. There goes GameStop taking off again. Hertz just had a big pop there for some reason. Climbing off that 10 there. SPY's getting up to that 50. No news on Hertz, I see. So if Nancy Pelosi is going to be speaking to reporters at 10:45 and we don't hear anything, you know, I honestly don't think it's going to be anything good coming out of her. Otherwise, I think her and Mnuchin would both be coming on, don't you think? If they had some type of stimulus deal, I think she'd be saying, hey, Mnuchin and I are coming on to speak to reporters at 10:45, but the way it's said, I will be speaking to reporters live at the U.S. Capitol at 10:45 a.m. We're probably going to be buying some puts ahead of that news conference. Doing some day trading with that.
TC Duanche shares halted at the highs 528 on the circuit breaker. Tango Charlie. Company trading at a new ratio of 1 share to 16. 180s to 16 shares as of today. Shares hitting a high of 528.
You could definitely trade that, but the thing is, Paul S. says about UVXY. You know, here's the thing about it. If you take a look at the option contracts on this compared to SPY. And you got a bigger spread between these as well. Look at that, 88 cents to 93 cents, 43 to 40 cents. That's a 10% difference between the spreads there. So me personally, I'd rather just trade SPY. Much tighter spreads there. See 233 to 234, 235 to 236. You know, they're a penny spread there. It's very tight. And look at the contracts here as well. So personally, Paul, I'd rather be trading SPY instead of that UVXY, especially if you're day trading it. Already, just from that difference between the spread between the bid and the ask there, you're losing 10%. So you need to make up 10% just to cover that spread. SPY's taking off here right now. Nice climb on SPY. Take a look. There goes Hertz again, breaking higher. $1.85 a share on Hertz. Facebook's holding that 280. Intel is at 53.52. Nice breakout on SPY here. Still seeing the markets continuing to climb. Dow's up about 53 points. Nasdaq's up about 44. And S&P's up about 10 points. Pelosi coming on in about 45 minutes. So just be cautious and be ready for that. United Healthcare is still looking good here. United Healthcare has been climbing nicely. 3-month daily chart here. I want to see that candle back up to about 330. If we get up to 330, I'm probably going to add to our United Healthcare trade for the November 20th expo. Zach Honka said he has 100 shares of Hertz. He's never done covered calls. He should look into it, though. I would agree there with you. So, Zach, if you have 100 shares of Hertz there, HTZ, you could go to the November 20th expo. You could sell to open. What did you pay for those shares, Zach? Ephraim says Pfizer 3750 calls at the bid. Some call sweeps coming in. The chart, Danny. We're getting a nice climb up to that 10. If we break above that 10, we have the November 20th expo. So we got about a month until expiration on that. It's holding that support area pretty well at about 320. It's climbing off of that. And if we get a climb above that 10, I'm going to be adding to that trade and be looking for that 335 area. And remember, if Democrats win, healthcare usually gets a big climb there. So that's something to look into the election here. SPY's still climbing. Ephraim just shared the heat map. As you guys can see what's taking off on the heat map there. Okay, Zach Honka says he's in at $1.89. So you're about 10 cents down on that trade right now if you got in at $1.89. It's at $1.79 now. So what you could do, Zach, is you own the shares at $1.89. You could sell to open the 250 strike call for November 20th for 22 cents. You'd bring in $22 per contract for that, and you'd make a difference between where you bought the shares at $1.89 to $2.50. So 2.5 minus 1.89. So you'd make 61 cents per share times 100 shares. You'd make $61 on the shares, on those 100 shares that you bought, and then you'd also make an additional $22 for selling to open that 250 strike call there. Now you could go out to the December Expo, January Expo, collect a little bit more premium, but as you can see here, December 18th, it's going for 24 cents. November 20th, it's going for 22 cents. I'd rather do the November 20th. That extra 2 cents really isn't that much for going out an extra month there till Expo. So if it were me personally, that's what I'd be looking
Coming
at.
up, existing home sales for September, month over month, 6.3 million, 5 plus 5%.
Let's share the heat map here.
Expected on existing home sales.
As you guys can see, the healthcare industry, healthcare sector is really taking off here. Industrials are looking good. Healthcare, though, remember what I told you guys, right? Healthcare is our safe haven stocks. That's what's on the climb right now. UNH looking good.
EU consumer confidence minus 15.5. Existing home sales plus 9.4%. The estimate was plus 5%, 6.54 million above the 6.8
Colgate.
million estimate on existing home sales. U.S. leading index for September plus 0.7% in line.
Abbott Labs is still on the climb. That's been one that we've been seeing come up on the heat map here for a while. Raytheon. Let's take a look at Abbott. Nice climb on Abbott again. That's something we could do an in-the-money vertical spread for. Existing home sales, 9.4 versus 6.2.
ALNY, Amalam Pharmaceuticals, Macerin shows 72% mean reduction in urinary oxalate and improvements in nephro.
That's definitely true, Colin. It's definitely because interest rates are so low right now.
Illuminate B phase 3 study. That's Alpha Lima November Yankee, ALMY.
Guys, Snapchat's still taking off here. We're at the highs of the day on Snapchat.
And Kiara Kieran highlight new data supporting clinical safety and efficacy of first-in-class phosphate absorption inhibitor, tenapanor.
Yeah, we got a quick 7% gain on our Snapchat trade already. Put these lights back on. Snapchat trades looking really nice here, team. 8% gain on her Snapchat trade. There she goes, taking off again. $10 gain on Snapchat already. $11 gain on Snap. SPY's starting to climb a little bit here above that 10. Diamond still breaking down Dow.
Cristexa among kidney transplant patients with the management of uncontrolled gout. Hotel Zulu November Papa. EC 2 hitting 588 now at 529, halted again on the way down on a circuit breaker. Again, that's an adjustment in the ratio of ADSs to shares. Shares closed at 72 cents yesterday, now at $5.29 on Tango Charlie.
Let's see. Paul on YouTube says UNP has broke down and heading lower. It might bounce off the 100-day SMA. Let's see. UNP. Union Pacific. That's a huge drop there. Now notice this on Union Pacific. What's nice about this...
Natural gas storage, a build of 52 BCF is expected on natural gas.
I don't know what's going on. I gotta go get a new mouse. So 190 has been acting
Coca-Cola Kilo Oscar company CEO says China is
as support.
to emerge stronger, driven by solid performance in sparklings offerings. That's Kilo Oscar Coca-Cola.
So 190 is a pretty decent support there, Paul, for Union Pacific. So nice support there. So if you made a trade on Union Pacific, I'd have 190 or 189 as my stop. It's right near it now, and then I'd be having my target resistance at about $200 there. So nice risk to reward ratio there if you wanted to get into a Union Pacific trade. This mouse. Snapchat shares are still trading higher.
SQBG, sequential brands halted on a circuit breaker, 1584, up 177% off the high of $18.60.
Qs are still breaking down though. If you guys take a look at Qs. Qs are still pulling back pretty heavily. Remember, Pelosi's coming on in about 40 minutes, 35 minutes.
$2.20.
Let's see. Anchor Loda says, how does NEO look to you? Let's take a look at NEO. N-I-O. On a today chart, it's in breakdown momentum there. Anchor. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but Anchor, it's in consolidation here. consolidation between 27 and about 29 bucks here. So I'd be looking for either a break below 27 or a break above 29, and then I'd be entering. If it broke above that 29, I'd be entering into some calls. If it broke below that 27, that's where I'd be looking for some puts there. Let's see. Dwayne says JKS. JKS had a pullback we were talking about the other day. Not sure if it was something you would want to look into. Yeah, remember I was talking to you guys about that. I think you brought that up, Dwayne. That was a beautiful chart set up there. A big breakout from about 18 bucks a share all the way up to $90. Someone was asking me the other day there if they should buy it. Literally right on this candle here. I told you guys that it was too far between the 10-20 SMA. It's ready for a pullback. And look at that pullback from 90 all the way down to 63. That's when we were going over live here on camera, which is a great example of why you don't want to get it midstream there in that breakout momentum. That first 10-20 cross right there, that's what's most important. Looking at that right there, looking for that first green candle, and then of course the MACD. I don't know why this mouse is so screwy. Sounds good, Anchor. SPY's pulling back here. I was telling you guys I'm going to be looking at the SPY puts, especially going into the Pelosi talk. That's something we can make a quick day trade on.
Inappropriate antimicrobial utilization. That from TT Biosystems, a tweet now.
I'll be looking for a break below 343 for entry.
Shares of T2 Biosystems are actually dropping following that tweet from the company.
Okay, there we go. I just got this ahead of the Pelosi meeting. Share this in the trade room with you guys. I just picked up the 342 strike puts on SPY for the 23rd Expo, which is tomorrow's Expo. I did that ahead of Pelosi here as I'm watching Qs, Diamond, and SPY break below that 10-day simple moving average.
SONO, Sonos, December.
We got about a half hour till Pelosi comes on.
Oscar, November Oscar, SONO.
Guys on YouTube, if you guys are enjoying this, please give this video a like for me. Give it a thumbs up. Share it on social media. I greatly appreciate the support, guys.
A short call out on SPI. calls it a pump and dump. That's Sandy Papa, India.
Sandy Papa, India. Jeremy, no, I don't plan on selling Snapchat today. We got next week's expo. I wanted to wait for that stimulus deal, possibly here. Look at that breakdown on SPY. Loving it. Snapchat's holding up pretty well, up 4.8%. I'm holding that one for next week. The SPY, that's the day trade here. Might hold that overnight there if they say there's no deal, because obviously I want to capture more to the downside if there's no deal. Thank you, Anchor. I appreciate that. Thank you for that thumbs up. Thanks for the like. They're doing just that, Avilio. Gradual down decline here, but waiting on Pelosi. That's what the markets are waiting for. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that too. Thanks for the support, guys. Really appreciate it. We got a great team here.
KMB Kimberly Clark on their conference call says on average companies see slightly less headwinds from currency rates than previously anticipated in Q4. That's KMB Kimberly Clark.
Big breakdown on SPY. Diamond, Qs. About 20 minutes ahead of Pelosi here.
WWR, Westwater Resources, popping here for $4.30. Whiskey Romeo. U.S. international air cargo fell 6% in August from year over year. U.S. Asia cargo rose 11%. That's from the BTS.
There's that breakdown coming again.
Sonos, seeing heavy call activity, shares at the highs now, 1537. Shares up about 4.5%.
Got a quick 6% gain on the SPY puts.
Heavy call activity in the stock, SONO.
And we're not even near the event yet. Snapchat's on the climb again, breaking above that 1020 SMA. Q's, Diamond, SPY are heading lower. Couldn't be asking for better trade setups today.
Valero Energy on conference call says
Facebook's holding within the wick of yesterday's scandal. I'm not worried about that. It's down 0.5%, $1.50 to $1.40. I wouldn't worry about that, Tyler. What we got to worry about is what Pelosi's about to say in 20 minutes. That's going to be the important factor for the rest of the trades. That's a good idea, Avilio. Tyler, did you pick up some puts? It's been the rule. Any one of them come on, you know. Trump comes on, the market pulls back. Pelosi comes on, the market pulls back. You know, it's just a trend that's been happening that we happen to take advantage of. Well, Paul S. says, what is the put target on SPY? Well, if they announce that there's no deal, you're going to see the markets really drop here, you know, 1% or more. So it depends on what she says. If she says, hey, we're close to a deal, you know, then we're going to be exiting our SPY puts. If she's like, there's still big discrepancies, then we're going to be holding on to them. Got some nice gains on our SPY puts as we continue to break lower here. Already up 12%, quick $100 on the SPY puts. Holding on to them. Another 20 minutes until Pelosi comes on. Anchor brings up a good point. He says that he thinks there'll be good news or positive comment than negative. Both sides want the stimulus. But here's the thing. The Democrats want to wait until after the election. You know, just like the Republicans wanted to vote for the Supreme Court before the election. Well, now the Democrats are saying, hey, we want to wait until after the election. Because obviously if they give the stimulus now ahead of the election, that's going to look good for Trump, and they don't want that. So that's why they're holding back, and that's what really upsets me about this whole politics with playing with people's lives, you know. Got a 13% gain on our SPY puts. Efren, you want to put those SPY puts up on YouTube there. Got a nice 18% gain now on those SPY puts. Continuing to drop lower here. Nice drop. Got a 19% gain on the SPY puts. Market's still dropping. All the markets are red now. Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 just turned red. Continuing to drop ahead of Pelosi here. Big drop on SPY. Up 20% now on our SPY puts. Quick $200. Bruce, you can watch Nancy Pelosi live for free on YouTube. Dow is still dropping.
Shares of Columbia Sportswear have bounced back, now trading up $1, following that earlier short report out from Glass House Research. Probably asking Michael.
There goes the market taking another dip lower. Still dropping here. Dow's at the lows of the day. Got about another 15 minutes until Pelosi comes on, team. And there goes the markets dropping once again here. Another big drop in the markets. Dow's at the lows. There goes SPY dropping to the lows here. Big drop in the markets. Dow's now down about 50 points. NASDAQ's down 30. Here comes that next drop. Efren, I just sold our SPY puts at 2.02. And now I'm going to use the profits from that to fuel another trade ahead of Pelosi here. I'll wait a little bit longer until we get closer to Pelosi. Sold the SPY puts, 2.02. Wow, look at that big breakdown. Another big breakdown here on SPY.
S&P futures continuing lower now, 34.18.
Big drop now.
Down about 14.
Nice thing about Snapchat, it's still up 4.5%. It's holding its support really well. How many of you on YouTube got into those SPY puts with us and just closed those out for a nice quick gain there? Qs are still heading lower. Market's still trying to get ready for another trade on SPY puts. This is what I mean about taking those profits. That's another quick $200 right there. You know, these add up throughout the day. Small trades will add up. I'll wait until we get a little bit closer to Pelosi here to enter another trade on SPY.
PC to watch shares hitting now at 470 after resuming trade, hit a high of 588 earlier. Again, this stock trading on an adjusted.
Dwayne, how much are you up on those SPY puts?
Previous
I'm looking at Snapchat. Snapchat held that 38 area beautifully.
1 to ADS to 16
And a big candle on Snapchat now.
had been 1 to 4 previously.
It's all about patience and discipline, team. You know, if you're able to sit back, wait for that signal, you could take advantage like we did. What did I tell you guys? A break below 343, right? We broke below 343 right here. Did you notice how we got into that trade? Okay, why did I pick that 343 as my area of entry into that put? I told you guys, if you rewind this video, I said, guys, if SPY breaks below that 343, that's where I'm going to be entering into that put. And if you take a look, if my mouse will cooperate here.
McAfee, MCFE indicating now.
So that's right when we got into that SPY put.
1 million.
We got into that SPY put when we broke below that 343. I think it was either right here. I think it was right here, 315.
Coming up, natural gas storage.
This mouse, I'm going to go to Best Buy on my lunch break here and get a new mouse. So right here was our entry. And I'm not even going to try with this mouse anymore. Dwayne said he's up 35%. Now look at how it got up to that support, up to that resistance. Now it's pulling back. Now if you see a break below that 341.80, that's going to be a beautiful entry for another put there. Guys, if you like these videos on YouTube, please give this video a like for me. Give it a thumbs up. Share it on social media. I'd greatly appreciate that. It'll help us out tremendously.
Versus 58 expected. Versus 52 expected on natural gas storage. Natural gas.
SPY's consolidating here for the past 5 candles. That's why I'm not doing anything yet. And we're about 10 minutes away from Pelosi. Here comes another breakdown. Another big breakdown here. Alrighty, I just jumped into a couple of contracts right now. Small ones. 340 strike put in at $1.39. Notice how I only used the profits from that previous trade to make that new trade. Guys, Snapchat's almost near the highs of the day. Snapchat trades looking good. Nice breakout there. Candle above 10, 20, 50 SMA. There goes SPY breaking down again. Another big breakdown on SPY. About 9 minutes until Pelosi comes on. Already up a quick 10% on those SPY puts. Another big breakdown.
EBK, Everglory getting another pop here. Echo Victor Kilo. Now $4.50, up 288%. Traded as high as $4.92. No.
Another big candle there. Continuing to break down. Already up 13% on the new SPY puts. New one-day record for COVID infections. Another big candle there pushing lower. Now up 20% on the new SPY puts. Pelosi coming on in about 8 minutes. Everyone seems to be getting out of the market here ahead of Pelosi.
Coming up, a press conference from House Speaker Pelosi at 10:45. CFE, McAfee, 2.7 million, still indicating $20. Michael Charlie Foxtrot Echo.
Guys, Snapchat's at new highs of the day. Big breakout on Snapchat. You guys see Snapchat there? SPY's failing at that 20. Our Snapchat trades up 13% right now.
TC open again. Tango Charlie Tawanche.
SPY's breaking down here. Love the looks of this.
$6 at the high. USCG, US Energy spiking here, uniform Sandy Echo Golf, USCG. Hitting $5.39. No news on US Energy.
Pelosi is going to be coming on. Watching SPY continue to drop there. Let's see, our SPY puts her up about 10% right now. See that next breakdown here on SPY. I don't think there's going to be a deal on stimulus. Big breakdown on SPY here, guys. Here's that next drop lower. Nice drop here on SPY.
WHO's Ryan says worried that the virus is increasing in parts of East Asia.
Who is saying that they're worried about the virus increasing? Efren, I just closed out this trade on SPY. I just closed it out at $1.64. Our second day trade out at $1.64. And I had an order in for Snapchat. Let me see if that executed. Yes, I sold Snapchat here as well. Let's see. Snapchat closed at $1.18. I wanted to get rid of that ahead of the news conference here while we had a nice gain on that. I just made about $400 on those day trades we just made today already. Pelosi is coming on now, so what I'm going to do is use some of these profits to fuel another trade here. I want to look for Pelosi live here. My mouse is absolutely horrible, though. It's not the battery. I changed the batteries. Here we go. Here's Pelosi.
Connect to Wi-Fi. Connecting to cybercriminal. You're not listening. I am listening, and I might not be the only one. Hackers can see what you said over Wi-Fi.
You guys want the link? I'm going to share the link with you guys in the trade room. I need to get ready for some more SPY puts once she comes out here. I need to get our third SPY trade ready, team.
GS Goldman Sachs unit will plead guilty to violating the anti-bribery provisions of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act related to one MDB scandal. That's Golf Sandy. That's from a court proceeding.
Nice job on those three trades, team. Really good job.
ABCM, AppCam, opens at $18, priced at $17.90. That's Alpha Bravo Charlie Michael, ABCM.
Here comes Pelosi. I have my order ready to be placed. I'm just waiting for that next breakdown here. I have the SPY 340 strike put for October 23rd ready to go.
House Speaker Pelosi now speaking.
She gathered here this morning once again. They told
Come on.
822,000 Americans have died from the coronavirus that we know of. Over 8 million have been infected by it.
All right, team, I'm in that trade. I executed it on that breakdown.
Because of the coronavirus. urgent that we come to agreement to crush the virus, put money in the pockets of the American people, and to honor our heroes, our state and local workers, our healthcare workers, our police and fire, first responders, our transportation, sanitation, food workers, our teachers, all of whom make our society function and run, many of whom risk their lives to save lives, and now they may lose their jobs, and over 1 million already have, because we have not honored them. We use all authority to thank them and honor them and wish them well, if we do not want to allocate the resources necessary to compensate for the money outlaid to fight the
Sounds
virus,
like there's no deal, right?
meet the health needs
Just by
of
the way
people
she's talking.
in their communities, as well as the revenue lost because of the virus. So we are again to protect the lives, the livelihood, and the life of our democracy. We continue to be engaged in negotiations, and I am hopeful that we will be able to reach agreement. We made good progress this week on the subject of crushing the virus. Crushing the virus. We're so long overdue to have a national strategic plan based on science, funded adequately in order to get the job done. I don't know who or what the administration was relying on since February to neglect or to avoid or decide not to crush the virus. But we have made progress this week because we will not go forward.
All right, I'm exiting that spy put.
Get to the heart of the sadness of the matter and sadness of the matter. We are not going to be able
Out of that at
to
$1.50, that's third one.
safely unless we crush the virus. So I'm pleased that we have reached a point where we at least, they still haven't completely signed off on it, but I think we're just about there.
That's good news, guys. Good news.
Allocate again the resources and the policies necessary to do that. Health comes into a number of things: testing, tracing, treatment, sanitation, separation.
Big climb on the SPY here.
mass
Big climb in the markets.
all of the things that science
Close
tells
to an
us
agreement.
would have stopped the spread. Would have stopped the spread of this virus. In fact, a report this morning that had well over 100,000 people who could have been saved if we had engaged in those practices as science dictates. That was not followed. Also, how we fund the healthcare providers, and that is something that we're reaching agreement on, as well as how we fund the vaccination, the vaccine, and the distribution of the vaccine, and how we meet the health needs of people who have lost their jobs and therefore lost their health care or on unemployment, how we come with some assistance for health care to them. So that's the health care package that I think we're at a good place on. The issue of educating our children. I mentioned safety in the workplace and safety in our schools. Essential to crush the virus to make that happen. But in the meantime, our schools should be the safest places in America for our children to learn. Children learning, parents earning. If children can go to school, parents have an easier time of it to go to work. The workplace has to be safe, and that's part of our discussion here. But let me spend a moment on the schools, because it relates to everything we need to do for our children. It only takes, in other words, we can make our schools safe. It only takes money. And really not that much more money than they have in the bill. But it's not just the money, it's how it is spent. For our schools, we need more space, more classrooms, and therefore more teachers, more support staff. We need better ventilation, technology to address some of the learning responsibilities that we have for our children. It's hard to understand why we would shortchange our children by holding back on what we need to do for our schools. So that remains one of our questions, and I'm hopeful. We exchanged text, we just said the most recent text. And in that text we talk about why we need those resources. And our provenance of our numbers are the American Association of School Superintendents, well-documented, institutional, academic, scientific basis as to why we need more resources to make our schools safe for our children. It seems to me that should be our highest priority. Because children are affected so drastically by not being able to go to school. And many children are affected by the virus. You've heard me say again and again, if you're an African American child, you're 5 times more likely to go to the hospital for COVID than a white child. If you're an Hispanic child, you're 8 times more likely to go to the hospital for COVID than a white child. More people of color have died of coronavirus than white people. And that's why our crush the virus testing, tracing, treatment was so important, because we have to do what we need to do to make it happen and to see the impact in the minority community, which they had erased from the bill, but now it is back. So the children, again, from the standpoint of COVID, are affected, from the standpoint of school safety are affected. And another point that affects the children is one thing that we have not received a positive answer yet, but I had been hopeful, we'll see, was to help children in families who've lost their jobs because of COVID, or children who are in families that are falling into poverty. The figures range from 6 to 8 million families more have fallen into poverty because the CARES Act benefits are running out. This can't happen in our country. How can we have a bill that sustains a CARES Act provision that gives $150 billion, $150 billion to the wealthiest families in our country, and we'll give a third of that to the neediest families in our country so that they can get back on their feet? The economists in every place on the scale in terms of philosophy and experience, whether they're secretaries of the Treasury or some other academics, they have told us that the best dollars we can spend are the dollars we spend on the neediest. The neediest. They need the money the most, and therefore they will spend it the fastest, injecting demand into the economy, creating jobs, stimulus. It's also the right thing to do for our families, but it is also stimulus. And that holds true of what we have in the Earned Income Tax Credit refundability, the Child Independent Tax Credit refundable, the Child Tax Credit, and makes a tremendous difference in the lives of these families as they hopefully will return to work and more work. But some of them are still working. These are the working poor. Essential to our children's well-being, whether it's their education or their health or their economic security, is honoring our heroes. I talked about them before. And again, we're not going to have safe schools unless we have strong support not only from the federal government, but also from state and local governments, who largely fund, over 90% of the education is funded. Public education is funded at the state and local government. The money from the federal government is largely about helping children who are in economically disadvantaged situations, as well as children with disabilities. So again, if you're hurting kids if you're not doing state and local, you're hurting kids if you're not doing enough for education. You're hurting kids if you're giving tax breaks to the rich and ignoring their families. You're hurting kids if you're doing, unless you're doing what we need to do to crush the virus. And then putting money into people's pockets, that's one way, and the other is, as we've come, I think, to terms on the direct payments. But we still haven't come to terms on, and I'm sad about this because it's so central to who we are as a people and so called for in our Constitution, and that would be the census and the elections. So that's where we are on that. And again, we're having to make a case to crush the virus at the same time as they are crushing the Affordable Care Act. They have to in court, people talk about it's 12 days until the election. It's 19 days before we go before the Supreme Court for the oral argument to overturn the Affordable Care Act. A goal of this president and Republican attorneys general across the country and the Republicans in the Congress of the United States. That is why they're in such a hurry to confirm a justice who shares their view, as she has written, who has shared their view and she
Big breakout on
she's
Spy.
even written about it and criticized the Chief Justice for his support of it. But even
Ephraim, could you close out the trades on YouTube there?
Senator Feinstein asked the nominee if she believed that the Medicare was constitutional.
Snapchat and the second Spy trade.
She did not give an answer to that. She said she could not answer that question in the abstract.
Nice job,
Here
Avilio.
we have a nominee endangering one of the most sacred American pillars of health and financial security for seniors and their families. I cannot answer that in the abstract. Is Medicare constitutional? No surprise to any of us here, because for years we've been hearing Republicans say Medicare should wither on the vine. Medicare should wither on the vine. So we have a lot at stake in this nomination, and therefore all the more at stake in this election. One of the things I got the most calls about the hearing was what she said when she was asked about the climate crisis. She said, she was asked if it were happening, and she said, she was asked about the scientific fact that climate change is happening. She called it controversial. I'm certainly not a scientist. I've read things about climate change. I would not say I have firm views on that. Really? Defiance of science. We see it throughout everything we do. Defiance of science and not facing up to the coronavirus. So many months ago, where so many lives could have been saved. Defiance of science in terms of saving our planet. Defiance of science in recognizing the need for the Affordable Care Act to meet the needs, the health needs, and in effect the financial needs of America's families because of the cost of health care. And that's exactly what is on the ballot. The Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act and the preventive care benefits that are in it, they will be gone and no longer required, because insurance companies will no longer be required to cover essential preventive services, which are some of the most popular aspects of the bill. The most well-known benefit that will be gone is the pre-existing condition protection. That benefit will be gone. Insurers will neither deny people coverage because of pre-existing conditions. And now COVID has added millions of people to that list. Already about 150 million families are affected by the pre-existing condition challenge and therefore benefit from the Affordable Care Act. Medicaid expansion, states will lose They're funding for the Medicaid expansion. And this is, people think of it as for children's initiative, and it is, thank God. But it is also a middle class benefit because much of the money that is spent on long-term care for our seniors comes from Medicaid. Not so much anymore if the Republicans have their way and have a court that does not believe in prejudice. Again, all the other things, being a woman and under Affordable Care Act, being a woman is no longer a pre-existing medical condition. We're back to that. If your child is on your policy up to 26 years old, forget about that. The list goes on and on. And we talk about
In 5 minutes, I got to get off because I got to pick up Sophia at school at 11:30. And then I'll be back live at 2 o'clock for our pro traders. Guys, if you guys like these videos of these trades here, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media for us. I'd really appreciate that.
Let me name them again. A benefit of having a pre-existing condition protection, preventive care benefits, Medicaid expansion, women paid more before the Affordable Care Act. But you know the list. So in any event, this election becomes very, very important because no matter what the court does, now that they've lined it up against the American people, against their good health, we in the Congress can change all of that. We've already introduced legislation to enhance the Affordable Care Act because we know any bill can always be better. Any legislation can always be better. But people have to know, don't be afraid of the court, as scary as it is as we approach Halloween. Understand that the election has ramifications. You win the House, the Senate, and the White House will be able to have an even stronger Affordable Care Act to overcome what the Supreme Court may dangerously do. Not even knowing if Medicare is constitutional, and again, criticizing the Chief Justice for his vote in support of the Affordable Care Act constitutionality when that vote came up. One other subject I wanted to bring up is the subject of the foreign interference in our elections. When I leave here, I will go to a briefing from the DNI and perhaps others. And I'll be very interested to hear what they have to say in a classified briefing. Because everything we have seen in the public domain does not justify the statements that we heard yesterday. We don't want any foreign interference in our elections from anyone. We think intimidation in the election is wrong, foreign or domestic. Foreign or domestic. So give equivalence to one country and another when we know that Russia has for a long time.
Alrighty, guys, enough of Pelosi there. I gotta go pick up my daughter from school quick, and then I'm gonna be live again at the office here about 2 o'clock. Alrighty? Hope everyone has a good day. We made 4 trades today, 3 of them nice gains, one of them a small loss there. Nice day trades, and we're gonna be looking for some more swing trades in the afternoon once we see what this market does here after Pelosi's done speaking. So great job today, team. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe. God bless. And I will see you guys in the afternoon. If you guys want to come join us, make sure you guys are going to breakingchartalerts.com. Sign up. Go to breakingchartalerts.com. This is our live trade room. Here's what you guys are going to see if you go to breakingchartalerts.com. Who we are, what we do, and you guys could see everything. You guys could join us for our free tax class here we have with our CPA. He's going to go over the trader operator tax status with you guys and show you guys how you can save a lot of money on your taxes by pinning yourself with the IRS as a trader operator if you're trading for a living. So I'm giving my CPA up for you guys. You guys could ask him questions. He's going to give you guys a presentation on the trader operator tax status with the IRS. And you guys could check out our member reviews here. These are live members, that video. You guys could see what we do in the morning and what we do. And if you guys want to join now and see our membership pricing plans, just click join now anywhere on the page. Take a look at it. Paul, I'm glad you had a great day with us. Congratulations. Good job. If you go to the pricing plans, you guys can see it's as low as $125 a month. With that, you get the live trading in the morning. You get access to our trade challenge, our trading app, our trade room, and some of the beginner classes. Pro Trader, you get the morning trading from 9:30 to 11, the afternoon trading from 2 to 4 p.m., and that's live only with our Pro Traders and our Elite members. You get our app, and you also get text alerts. Elite Pro Trader, you're going to save $500 a year, plus you're going to get our advanced classes, which are all right up here in the archive. And you guys are going to be able to take a look at that, go to that, and more are being uploaded as well. So you guys could see we have beginner classes. We go over our trade plan, everything that you guys need to get started here. Intermediate classes, and this is for our elite members here. The advanced classes there on hedging and on risk management, portfolio management, and things like that. So if you guys want to get signed up, go there. And if you guys have any questions, all you have to do is go down to the bottom of the page right here on the bottom right and chat with us live right now on Facebook, and we'd be glad to answer any questions. So please, if you guys have any questions for us, log into your messenger, shoot us a message on Facebook, and we'd be glad to help you guys out. Hope everyone had a great day. Good job to you guys on YouTube in the trade room, and I will see you guys live in about an hour and a half, 2 hours here when we go live again. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.